as I mentioned at the top of the show, the shortest straw has been pulled for the Mighty Ducks as the Blackhawks return to Lord Stanley's Cup for the third time since 2010. Jay, what did you like tonight in tonight's game? What do you see moving forward against the Lightning?
How can you dislike anything? Rather, it's going to be a very exciting series. The Blackhawks, your Chicago Blackhawks, eliminated the Anaheim Ducks 5-3 in Game 7 to advance to the Stanley Cup for the third time in the last 6 years.
Should have been the fourth time in the last 6 years.
It should have been, absolutely.
We got shorted last year against the Kings.
Now at this point, though, guys, this is where you start talking you bring up the word dynasty if they win. If you figure you have other dynasties, you just saw the New England Patriots officially seal their dynasty label. You also have the San Francisco Giants, also considered a dynasty, winning multiple championships in the past few years.
Yeah, when they were nobody in the 90s and 2000s.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all it takes is, the right key moves with management and getting the right people in place. And that's, and here we go. And the same thing with these young men with the Chicago Blackhawks. You got two goals in the first period by Jonathan Toews, and your captain is the front line is looking great. They came out this series, if they played like this throughout the it wouldn't have gone to 7 games, I'll tell you that. And now they have the Tampa Bay Lightning on Wednesday night on their home ice, so traveling down to Florida, and let's take one of two down there to start off and see what we can do. And this is going to be exciting. I mean, what else we have going on here besides the Blackhawks in Chicago? Nothing much.
No, as the Bulls got eliminated by the Cavaliers, who have made it to the finals against, who was it, Golden State?
The Cavaliers and Golden State. That series starts on Thursday nights.
I'm excited. I'd like to see LeBron take one in the chin.
Always.
Or several.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Just, beat that guy. Yeah. I mean, you know what? For everything that he is and the comparisons with Jordan and whatnot, and I mean, what comparisons? We're in Chicago. This is Jordan country. We'll always go for our guy Mike. He didn't need to go to another team and join forces, and he comes back home. I'll give him that. But I mean, that's basically our Achilles heel right now, Tim and guys. We cannot get past. Tom Thibodeau lost his job. He can't get.
He
past
got
LeBron.
The boot, man.
Absolutely.
He was axed.
Absolutely. 5 years into it, and he's gone.
Do you think, I've heard this speculation that Thibodeau could perhaps be one of the reasons Derrick Rose sat out so long, because he was playing him at times he shouldn't have been, and Derrick Rose put himself in a position to get injured based on the minutes that Thibodeau was forcing upon him.
And that was the argument,
well, not only him, the entirety of the team. Starters are playing in the last minutes of the game when they're up 15 or 20.
And you had that. I mean, just running as players. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you can't keep doing that. You have to do the right. You have to rest them when they need to be rested. I mean, a la Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. But, I mean, nonetheless, his track record speaks for himself. This was not 5 wasted years. I mean, if you're going by championships, of course. But, I mean, as far as productivity and what he got out of his players.
Yeah, what did he get, like 3 years in the playoffs?
He won all 5. He won all 5 into the playoffs. I mean, he was a 2011 Coach of the Year. He was also able to make Derrick Rose youngest MVP in league history, Joakim Noah Defensive Player of the Year, and also an MVP candidate during Rose's absence. Also Luol Deng becoming a 2-time All-Star, and Jimmy Butler, who's about to get a max contract, going from the 30th pick in the draft to being a All-Star. And, what can you say? He couldn't get past it. He could not get along with the owners, and you cannot have that kind of relationship if you're not going to be in the office yourself. If you're just going to be coaching, he should become vice president at some point, a la Pat Riley. Make your own calls, do what you need to do, and life goes on. Now we have to deal with another rookie head coach, and we have a stacked team. We do.
They already have a coach lined up.
Fred Hoiberg is rumored to be the replacement.
Hoiberg.
The mayor Hoiberg.
Oh, the mayor.
The mayor himself, if you remember. I remember going to the Bulls, the United Center, during the Fred Hoiberg days. And that was one of the
Captain Kirk, Fred Hoiberg.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was Kaid El-Amin.
Yeah.
I remember those. Oh, man. And who was it? Was it Ron Mercer, yes?
Yeah.
Ron Mercer was their guard. I remember just horrible.
It was like, who put these this bunch together. Like,
That's
what happened here?
It's the Jordan hangover. You lose the greatest
Yeah.
player and Scottie Pippen, the greatest second man in the history.
Everybody left.
And Phil, and that's it. This is what you end up with, But it's what else we have to look forward to? I mean, besides that, Bears. I mean,
Oh yeah. Now that you mentioned the Bears, you heard about this Ray McDonald?
That's right. He was fired basically. He was let go without even having to play for the team.
Right.
For conduct, off the field conduct, and
conduct unbecoming of a athlete.
Absolutely. I mean, you have such bad news with this guy. I mean, he has suspicion of domestic violence and child endangerment.
All right.
This happened with the ex-fiance in front of the child. This can't happen.
Yeah. So they are allegations, but McDonald was in the news just days after that incident for
violating the restraining order.
Yeah, for a second incident. So what do you think? Do you think he'll get picked up by a team this year?
Of course he will. I mean, you still have second opportunities. Yeah, he'll probably be a Jet, right? But yeah, it happens with these players. You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna face, you're gonna basically face the truth. You're not gonna be working anymore, and could it be worse? I mean, you try to stop this conduct now, stop this behavior. Hopefully, it does not become a trend. You have what happened with our buddy Aaron Hernandez, and
he's not my buddy.
Well, I mean, I just mean as far as everybody else who was such a great talent, and we go from being an NFL company man to being a thug and a gangster, and you're going to be one or the other. You cannot be both.
He was always the thug, though. He never gave it up. Once he was a celebrity in college. Right. Then he was an ultimate tight end for one of the best teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Paid a huge salary and still couldn't shake the thug life.
Well, years ago you had Michael Vick fighting dogs and doing, unmentionable things to dogs. And at that point, that's pocket change to what you're making in the NFL. Yeah. Literally, he's fighting for what, a couple thousand, 100,000, if that. I mean, it's to be one or the other. You're going to be the company man, and he was. I mean, Nike commercial lost all that sponsorship, and he was a shadow of himself, and you know that, Tim, with the other teams that he ended up with.
Absolutely.
Namely, just Philly, and it's not the same thing. Be one or the other. You can't be both.
Yeah, he didn't come back in any form that he was before he left, where he was stomping on Green Bay in the playoffs, running for 200
all
yards.
over the place. I remember that game. My goodness. Man.
Yeah, everybody was excited. He played his best when he was in Atlanta.
Yeah, it just goes to show you. You're gonna get you're gonna get your chance to come in, do what you need to do, make your money, and leave your legacy, hopefully. But you gotta be a good boy. You do, or a good girl if for those that follow lady sports as well. What happened with their own domestic violence cases that have happened recently.
Yeah.
And you just have to get along, really. I mean, what are you going to do? You have to be professional. As they say, you have to be professional.
But something about having all that money makes people think they can act as they want to, rather than being somebody that's like a figurehead for a sports team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like Rick and Zoe are too into sports.
Don't really do sports.
You hardly do sports?
No.
Did they hit a home run?
I thought you played sports, Zoe. Aren't you like the captain of your softball team?
I am. I actually. Well, there's a difference between playing sports and then following sports.
Right.
Very true. Very true.
So I guess that's why I can't really contribute. I'm really sorry, guys.